Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Nerd Ledger. I am Cage. I am here by myself. It's Friday. Listen, guys. This week is actually kind of gone by pretty quickly, but it's, every week is an adventure. Every week there's something going on. There's some crazy shit. I can't keep track of things anymore. Let me tell you. Cher and I, we had planned a podcast, obviously, like normal on Thursday. But, he had something to do, which is fine because I also kind of got trapped at work a little bit. And so, we didn't have the opportunity to podcast yesterday. But that's okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about, towards the end of this. I'll talk a little bit about Daredevil Season 2, Born Again Season 2, and Maul, Shadow Lord. But there's some news that I want to talk about first. Because, listen, guys, there's nothing crazy here, but sometimes when you know, and a lot of times I know. Let's be honest. Okay, before I jump into any actual news, let me just say, what the fuck is going on with Twitter? Okay, X, whatever it's called. I used to see like articles or pieces of news, and I would like them. So then later I could go back because you can go on your profile and see what you've liked, and I can pull news that way. That feature's kind of just gone. And I don't know where it went, and I don't like it, and it makes me sad because now I gotta, repost or some shit so that I could go view it later, which is fine. I'll change my ways because Twitter changed their ways, all right? Whatever. I gotta talk about the Batman 2 castings. A lot of it is stuff we already knew, but we'll talk about it anyway. And the biggish kind of news is about the Rings of Power. We got a release date finally for season 3. Some additional stuff about it, which I was right about, and I'll play you the clip just so you know. And yeah, I mean, I had other stuff ready, but I don't know where it went, so I'm not gonna talk about it. And I also want to readdress Empire's list of the 50 greatest Star Wars characters of all time, which was fucking trash, by the way. So yeah, that's all the stuff I have in store. The Batman 2 casting stuff is pretty quick, pretty simple. Robert Pattinson obviously is playing Batman. Sebastian Stan has been cast. We don't know who yet. It's rumored, but not fully confirmed, that he's playing Harvey Dent, a.k.a. Two-Face. Scarlett Johansson is rumored to be playing Gilda Dent. Charles Dance, Tywin Lannister, Charles Dance, is rumored to be playing Christopher Dent. Sebastian Koch is in it, to be announced who he's playing. Brian Tyree Henry, also we don't know. Andy Serkis is coming back as Alfred. Colin Farrell is coming back as the Penguin. Jeffrey Wright is coming back as Jim Gordon. Jamie Lawson is coming back as Mayor Bella Real. And Gil Perez Abraham is coming back as Officer Martinez. So pretty simple, straightforward news there. The other news is The Rings of Power. So The Rings of Power is getting a Season 3, and it will premiere November 11th of this year. According to the official description, Season 3 will take place several years after the events of Season 2, picking up, quote, at the height of the war of the elves and Sauron, as the Dark Lord seeks to craft the one ring that will give him the edge he needs to win the war, bind all peoples to his will, and at last rule all of Middle-earth. And let me just tell you, I recorded this, what I'm about to play for you, on October 7th of 2024. That is over a year and a half ago. This is my prediction. And I do have a prediction for Season 3. Because, again, compressed timeline. But part of that compressed timeline is a prediction. I think there will be a time jump. From season 2 to season 3. I don't know how long it'll be. It's difficult. I would think maybe 100 years is fair. Numenorians live a long time, So 100 years, a lot could happen, and maybe 50 years, who knows? But you need time for. It depends what they want to show. Do they want to show Sauron going, making the One Ring, which they could do before a time jump, giving out the 9, corrupting men, which they're great kings of men that he corrupts. Do we see that? Do we want to see that? Could we see that and then have a time jump? I think in season 3, if there is a season 3, we'll also see Sauron taken to Numenor, whether he's captured or not, the way he is. Okay, listen, we don't need to continue with that guy who made that prediction. I wasn't very eloquent. It was a while ago. I wasn't very eloquent. I was but the point is, I was right. Let's be honest. It wasn't a crazy prediction. Let's be real here. Like we all kind of could have guessed that, but yeah. The thing is with the Rings of Power that it's a show that is difficult because we've talked about this numerous times, but they're trying to tell a story that they can't really tell. Like, they have the rights to the appendices of the Lord of the Rings, and they're trying to tell stories from other things that they have no rights to. So it's really difficult, and so they have to backfill and make a lot of things up and make a lot of bad decisions. And that's just kind of the reality of it, and it's unfortunate. But if you kind of remove your Tolkien hat and just kind of watch what they're giving you, like, it's not awful. And sometimes I quite enjoy it. And story-wise, Season 2 was a lot better than Season 1 was, and it was very much hard-carried by Anatar and Celebrimbor. Besides the point, though, I'm going to still watch Season 3, and I'm going to hope to enjoy it. And if there is the time jump, I hope we get to see a little bit of all this other little stuff that I had alluded to in my prediction, because I think that's much more compelling than what we've gotten. So there's that. There's also a tentative release date for Ahsoka Season 2 of early 2027. So it's been pushed back, but apparently we're getting it early 2027. We're supposed to get X-Men 97 Season 2 this year, sometime late summer, I think. So there's also that. We just got the Punisher one-shot on Disney+. I haven't watched it yet because I've been busy. Listen, like I'm saying, this week kind of flew by, but it was busy. There's a lot of shit going on, and so I didn't have time to watch it. All my nights have been kind of late nights of working or other things, other obligations. So I haven't necessarily had the time to watch everything. But I did watch all of Daredevil, and I had that ready a couple weeks ago. And I watched all of Maul, which also ended a couple weeks ago. And I liked both shows quite a lot. Daredevil, I thought, was really, really good. I know people are going to have a problem with Matt Murdock / Daredevil not killing Fisk. Sorry, spoiler warning if you haven't watched it, because I'm going to talk about it. But essentially Fisk gets off scot-free, more or less. He gets to, he goes and murders a bunch of people and then just gets to go off to an island and enjoy life somehow, even though he's not really enjoying life because he didn't really want to leave New York. He kind of lost everything, but he's free. Matt Murdock, on the other hand, pulls the ultimate Iron Man, as you'd expect, and says, "I am Daredevil," and then throws his little stick. And, everyone just kind of goes, "Oh, yeah, that makes sense. You're Daredevil, blind lawyer guy." I think you'd have much more people questioning whether you're actually fucking blind. And, in this world of social media and hatred, you got all the people of New York out here probably tweeting about how you're ableist and you pretended to be blind for many years. And, I'm surprised we didn't get some of that bullshit. No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, people are going to be mad about Daredevil not killing Fisk or not allowing Fisk to be killed. It's all part of his Catholic background as well as other things, but he's got to believe in redemption and grace and retribution and things of that nature. So a lot of compelling themes within Daredevil. I thought the court scene in the last episode was fantastic. I was quite taken by it. I liked the season as a whole. I know Chair wasn't big on Daredevil this season, and I don't think he was really into it much, but I quite liked it. I enjoyed all of it. I liked Bullseye quite a bit. The only character that semi annoyed me was Karen Page a little bit, but it is what it is. Heather also, I fucking hate her. But I think you're supposed to. So, and yeah, she'll be Muse in season 2. Who knows what else we're gonna? I mean, sorry, season 3. Who knows what else we're gonna get? But quite enjoyed Daredevil. Maul. I mean, we talked ad nauseum about the beautiful art, the animation style, all of that. But even like, I wasn't necessarily expecting it, but I did get it spoiled to me before I watched the episodes that Darth Vader was gonna be there. And listen, like, Darth Vader is Darth Vader, and they do great justice to Darth Vader. He shows up. He doesn't have to say a word. He's just cool and menacing, and toys a little bit with the Jedi. And as soon as that costs him, he goes full berserker mode. Like, where they in the animation of it, and obviously it's Dave Filoni, so no surprise. But they nail his fighting style as Darth Vader, the brutality of it, the power of it. It's great. The juxtaposition of how Maul's like mechanical legs were like kind of a hindrance to him in this season a bit, but Darth Vader fully uses his mechanical limbs to as part of him. Like, there's a symbiotic thing with him and his mechanical limbs that he uses them to his advantage and to overpower his adversaries and whatnot. So I was a big fan of Maul. I thought it was incredible. I liked seeing Darth Vader. I was speaking to somebody, and they were like, yo, like, Darth Vader, like, how does Maul not know who he is? Like, isn't he like the watchdog of the Emperor, and like this, the greatest evil force and all this stuff? And I'm like, yo, there's different, you'll get different perspectives. My perspective is, this is so soon after Revenge of the Sith. Like, I think it's within like a year of Revenge of the Sith. So has Darth Vader truly established himself in the universe yet? Is he truly this, great lord that people fear? Like, how much is put into that? Because you don't really know, right, at this point. So to me, it's not at all surprising or shocking or out of the realm of possibility that Maul doesn't know who he is. Like, that makes perfect sense to me. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I was a big fan of it. Who knows if there will be a season 2? Do we need one? Do we expect one? I think, whenever you get a show like this, you get the initial kind of, a lot of people are big fans of the character, right? But you still get people who will argue, and I don't necessarily disagree, but you'll get people who will argue that that Maul died, and we don't need more of this. Like, it was already egregious enough to bring him back in Clone Wars, and then to bring him in Rebels and all this stuff. And I quite like all of that stuff, but for me, it's like, how many characters is Star Wars going to continue to bring back that were clearly dead? Like, I get it, his hatred kept him alive and all this stuff, but listen, after Phantom Menace, not a single person in the world thought that guy survived being cut in half and falling down this massive shaft. Just like the Emperor being thrown down the core of the Death Star and then it exploding did not survive. Again, we can say they're clones or whatever. But they didn't even really do a good job explaining that in that terrible movie called The Rise of Skywalker. And, Boba Fett crawling out, killing the Sarlacc from the inside. Like, all these characters that are clearly, like, meant to be killed off, that we're resurrecting because they're fan favorites. And I get it, it's great. I mean, Palpatine wasn't resurrected because he was a fan favorite. He was resurrected because Disney had no plan and they wanted to sell tickets to a movie that they would sell tickets to anyway. So it is what it is, ultimately. But I quite liked this series. I expect probably a season 2. I never really think about it until I hear people talk about it. Like, most shows that Disney's done, I haven't gone, oh, we need a season 2 of that. Like, especially for Marvel shows, to me, they're just kind of supposed to bridge gaps or help you with, like, some context or, provide some joy, right? I don't necessarily think we need season 2s, but then we ultimately usually get them. Aside from X-Men 97. We need all the seasons we can get of that, as long as it stays good. But ultimately, right, when I'm talking about Maul and this whole he's dead and they resurrected him, none of that really matters. If the quality of the show is good, then people are going to enjoy it, and it really doesn't matter. Like all this discussion bullshit that people have of like, nobody asked for this, we didn't need this, blah, blah. Like, we get that all the time. I mean, again, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but one of the most prominent examples is Guardians of the Galaxy, the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Not a single person asked for that. Like, comic book fans, listen, none of us are out here bragging about Guardians of the Galaxy being our favorite books. It's just not for anybody. But now these are some of people's favorite characters. It's one of the best MCU movies. It's great. It's phenomenal. Nobody asked for it, but that doesn't mean we don't like it and it's not as good as it is, right? Like, this is the reality. Nobody needs to ask for it to be something that changes people's minds and does something amazing. And so I don't buy that in the first place. But these are the arguments people have, so whatever. And speaking of Darth Vader, let me just say this, right? The Empire list of the greatest Star Wars characters of all time had Darth Vader at number 2. Darth Vader is arguably the best cinematic villain of all time. So he should be number 1, by the way, on the Star Wars list of characters. And on top of that, if you narrow that down away from greatest cinematic villain to greatest original cinematic villain, meaning they didn't come from a book beforehand, a comic book, another piece of media, literature, music, whatever, then he is unequivocally the best villain in film of all time, the best original villain of film of all time. And that to me means he's the best Star Wars character. He's not my favorite Star Wars character. I have a tattoo of Darth Vader. I never planned to. The only reason I did is because I needed a cover up, and it worked well. And I got him right here in the most painful fucking spot you can as a tattoo, right in the elbow ditch. I have Darth Vader because I had a tattoo down here. I wanted to cover up, and initially I thought Darth Vader's cloak his body could kind of fall over it. But instead we put a Star Destroyer under him, kind of like the Empire Strikes Back poster. So, yeah, I am not Darth Vader's biggest fan. He's not my favorite character, but he is the best Star Wars character, the greatest Star Wars character of all time. It's Darth Vader, without a doubt. Not many characters have the impact that he has. He doesn't have to talk. He doesn't have to do anything. He is just a menacing presence. He is great, best twist of, in cinematic history. We need to show the love to Darth Vader. Beyond that, they had Han Solo at number 1. Listen, top 5 is Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, then maybe Han Solo. They also had Rey at number 10. Sorry, Ahsoka belongs in the top 10. Rey doesn't belong near the top 10. They had a bunch of characters on the list that did not belong on the list. Rose Tico did not belong on the list. Admiral Hodo did not belong on the list. They didn't have Jar Jar Binks. They didn't have Jango Fett. Listen, I get it. People don't really like Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks is not a terrible character. Jar Jar Binks is also responsible for the creation of the Clone Army. Jango Fett is the face of the Clone Army. These are 2 characters that belong on the list over Rose Tico, who did fuck all, and Admiral Hodo, who did fuck all. Poe Dameron is on the list. If he stays on the list, he belongs far, far, far down on the list. Like, they didn't include a single person from the Bad Batch, even though they included animation. They only included Kanan from Rebels. They included Ezra as well, and Chopper. Okay, they included 3 people from Rebels, but Hera is still better than Rose, so I don't know how you can include Rose and not Hera, or Sabine, or anybody else from there, even Zeb. They had Asajj Ventress at 50. They had Grand Admiral Thrawn at like 42 or some shit. Their list is completely fucked up, okay? I don't know how anybody didn't read that and think they're fucking trolling, because they are trolling. Like, I don't know what they did, if they plugged this shit into AI or some shit, but these are not real people who watch Star Wars and actually think this shit. Because not a single, massive Star Wars fan has Rose Tico in their top 50 or Admiral Hodo. She doesn't even make a list of the top 150 or 200 characters. Like, it's unbelievable the shit they tried to pull with this list. And I get it, guys. Hey, calm the fuck down, guys. It's just a fucking list. All right, I get it. It's just a fucking list. But you know, hey, I'm here to talk about shit and air some grievances. So I'm gonna bitch about a fucking list. All right. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot else to say about any of this. But Cher and I will be back next week. Surely not together, but we'll be on this podcast together to discuss who knows what. Maybe Punisher. No, we won't. Thursday. Sorry, guys. Thursday we won't be here because we'll be seeing The Mandalorian and Grogu in theaters. Woohoo! And that'll be cool. And you know what else will be cool about it is I didn't mention this on the podcast before, but there's someone at work that he and I we've been walking together. You know, we've been going on walks at work to just chat about shit. You know, and we become kind of like friends, which is hard for me to say because I don't really have friends very much. When I'm here at home, I don't really talk to people. It is what it is. So connection is a difficult thing, guys. Connection is it's not an easy thing. So but we've been hanging out a little bit at work, and he had expressed interest in seeing The Mandalorian and Grogu, and I said, hey, I'm going. There's a seat open next to me. I'll buy it if you want to go. So he's gonna go with us, and that'll be cool. So who knows? Who knows what that'll lead to? Like, there's other things he does that maybe I'll get into, right? Like, he does a lot of pickleball. I never played pickleball, but a lot of people are getting into pickleball these days. I don't know why. Like, it's just like a hobby that people are doing. And so he does it, and some other people at my work do it too, actually. So maybe I'll pick up pickleball at some point and make some friends. I don't know. Get a fucking life, because apparently I don't fucking have one. I just, I am a person who has a routine, and I kind of stick to my routine most of the time, right? Like, I wake up around the same time every day. I go to work. I work. I go to the gym after work. I go home. I cook dinner, take a shower, whatever. And then, I log back into work a lot of times, or, I have some obligation or do something with my wife or whatever, and it's like, that's kind of the routine. And so even like missing the gym is hard for me. Like today I missed the gym because I had some things to do, and then I came home and cleaned up some stuff, and then I was like, well, I just want to talk. So now I'm doing that. So I haven't gone to the gym, but I want to, and it's hard to like break that routine. But if there are opportunities that feel like they're not super, I don't know the word, but like, if I can get out of my own way sometimes, right? Like if someone texted me and said, hey, you want to go do this in like 20 minutes, to be able to be like, oh yeah, sure, that'd be fun. Like, that's not something I really have or do, and maybe it's because I don't get the invites, but that's it's tough sometimes. And making genuine connections is difficult, because I don't have to say it. It's difficult to make genuine connections, because a lot of people are not super genuine, and even when you find people that are, there can be complications, and making connections with people is you open yourself up to getting hurt or disappointed. And I learned that at a young age, and I think that's why I don't really have super deep connections with people and don't have many friends. And it's different with my wife, obviously, because we live our lives together, and we been together for quite a long time now, so it's like, we don't have some of those I don't know what you call them, not necessarily expectations, but like it's a completely different dynamic, and so like we're already so connected that it's like I don't have to worry about like expectations or weird things. Like it's like we're already what we are, so like it's a little different. But with a lot of other people, I always kind of have a guard up, or things are very surface level, and that's why podcasting is good. It's a good outlet to talk about some shit, because things aren't always easy, and you need outlets, and you need people to talk to, and talking to myself is is apparently what I do. So it is what it is. It's it's cool, I guess. But yeah, Chair and I will be back at some point. We'll be talking about The Mandalorian and Grogu. We'll be talking about Punisher, I'm sure. I'm going to watch it soon, hopefully. I mean, tomorrow my wife has like a little party going on here, so I won't be able to watch it tomorrow. Hopefully I can do something. And then Sunday I got work, and then Monday and Tuesday, all throughout the week. But sometime next week, probably early next week, I'll watch it after work or something, and then we'll see The Mandalorian and Grogu on Thursday. And then who knows when we'll talk about it. Maybe Friday, if he's up for it. But we'll see. Yeah, I'm excited for that, honestly. I've avoided all of the reviews that dropped today, all the early screening reviews, and I've avoided all the extra trailers and footage and everything else that they continue to release, because I really only like to watch the first trailer and then save everything for the full experience. So looking forward to it. Do all the things, click all the buttons, like, comment, rate, review, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Much love. Bye-bye, everybody. I'm going to click the button right now.